A lot of artists starting out when they're trying to self-start and build a career and become a full-time artist are told by the likes of everyone from Gary Vee to Ty Lopez to any number of internet-based motivational capitalistic content creators that you need a personal brand. I, even though feel like I am diametrically opposite and opposed to people in like the capitalistic manosphere dropshipping world, also believe that if you are going to build a community and develop a fan base and make money off of your art, I will also believe that you need to build a personal brand. The problem here, I realize today, isn't that it isn't that the newcomer, the beginner, the new artist, the person who's just starting out and trying to get out there, it isn't that they don't know what a brand is. Everybody knows what a personal brand is because we're all online and we're constantly force-fed and constantly bludgeoned over the head with every personal brand under the sun, from, some guy you went to high school with who's selling CBD oil to Kendall Jenner. We see all of these things all day, every day. People constantly trying to build and create and promote personal brands. And so I'm not going to tell you what a personal brand is. I'm not going to tell you how to start it. But what I am going to say that's really interesting that people don't understand is that a personal brand isn't just what you create. It is how you document and display what you are doing. It isn't just the belief. Maybe your brand is, I want to educate those who don't have access to education. Maybe your brand is, I don't know, like maybe whether your brand is an activistic message, whether it is purely service-based, whether you are selling a luxury good. The thing is here that people struggle with is that it isn't just the logo. It isn't a message. It isn't a slogan. It isn't a character. It is about how you are developing what you actually are doing in your day-to-day life and with your business and with your art that will ultimately add up to the artist's personal brand. This can come in the form of time-lapse videos. This can come in the form of explaining to people what kind of paints you are using. This can come in the form of a completely silent, no narration video that is just a video of you creating art, a video of things you use, of where you use them, why you use them, what you are doing, how you photograph your art, why you photograph your art, where you put it, where do you put these videos and photos after you have created them. Think of all of the documenting that you do as an artist. Maybe you film some quick footage of a show that you participated in. Maybe you are photographing a series of paintings that you have completed. Maybe you are storing and, maybe you're putting the titles and the prices and the dimensions. Think of all of these things, all of these little menial, insignificant things you do as an artist. Imagine what it would look like to document all of that and to put it into a video or picture or writing. And now imagine yourself distributing that information, and that is what the artist's personal brand is. There is a kind of limited yet limitless number of things that you could be, right? When we think of in like the normie world outside of the arts, the personal brand, there's like maybe the disruptor, somebody getting in there and mixing things up and doing things against the grain or really, disrupting effectively. Then we may have somebody who is an activist, who is like a political commentator, a political messenger. They're journalistically documenting whatever issues that are happening in the world, etc. These essentially are current events and capitalistic archetypes, right? Like maybe there's like a big money Bugatti, flashy, shiny suit guy. That's also an archetype in our political and economic landscape. And if you wish, you can try to embody any number of those archetypes. But as visual artists trying to promote ourselves and promote our work and get out there and connect with people, Your methods in the most conventional way, in my opinion, are pretty limited. You know what I mean? If you are only going to talk about art, the obvious thing to do is to teach art, right? I mean, when you go to art school and you get a bachelor's, or then you eventually get an MFA in studio art or whatever, the obvious thing to do is to get a teaching certificate and go teach at a school to make your money while you make your art on your days off, right? This is the same thing with personal brand and content creation as an artist. The obvious thing to do is to teach people how to do what you do, whatever. And if you're worried about that because you don't want people to rip you off, if your art is that easily replicatable, it may not belong to you in the first place. This is a personal beef and belief that I have that is kind of a controversial and snippy thing to say, but let's drop that and talk about it another time. But I always want to pause and reflect in this conversation too. The fact that it really is a corrosive thing to think about. And the reason that is corrosive is because not only is it tied to identity and your emotional state and your personal value of yourself, but it's also it is tied to those things, and it is tied to it is tied to the capitalistic rat race, if that makes sense. And what I'm trying to say here is that this volatility, and considering your place in the world, considering your place in the community, and considering your hopes and dreams for yourself, and what may happen if you fail, what may happen to your family if this doesn't work out, what will happen to your reputation, like all of these things, all wrapped up into economic status, into a little digital avatar of yourself that you're promoting and making videos and trying to get out there. It's disturbing, right? This isn't something that human beings are supposed to be doing. When whatever aliens came down here and gave us magic mushrooms and made, chimps' brains quadruple in size, whatever was happening when that happened, they didn't anticipate that we would be on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts trying to build a personal brand to sell our artwork and promote our indie pop, whatever demo tapes. Like, I'm simultaneously trying to help you out by explaining to you my critical perspective on the personal brand for the artist, and also trying to highlight the absurdity of it, while at the same time acknowledging the unfortunate importance and necessity of participating in it and doing it. I mean, but I guess if I had, besides just validating your feelings in the sense that this is a disturbing and crazy thing that you are being forced to participate in as an artist trying to build a personal brand, I also want to highlight the fact that from my critical, most basic things, is that, like, in the most generic and sterile sense, a brand is stickers and logos and colors. It is sounds and jingles and slogans. It is faces and visuals and pictures. But above all else, above all of that, it is simply the format in which you document what you do and what you say. Whether it is videos, whether it is essays, whether it is the written, whatever it is, whether maybe you make horrible AI generated songs narrating your ideas and your perspective. Maybe you are starting a clothing line and every video is like a horrible AI generated promotional song that's like ironically distributed out there and everyone points and laughs at how terrible of a song it is. But at the end they get that little plug and maybe they buy the shirt of your crappy clothing line. I don't know, but I don't know. I guess it's a plight, it's a necessity. And if it is a plight and a necessity, that means we should be thinking critically about it, not just how to destroy it and to never participate in it again or to reject it, but also to be considering how do we effectively do this. The way I think about it is my brand is not, I don't know exactly what it is. I like to teach people art, I like to connect with people, and I like to help people. But I also am doing that with my voice. I've always felt like my voice gets me places. Nobody likes me until they hear me talk. Nobody likes my face until they hear the words coming out of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? People like me a lot better when I can speak for myself. So I've always known that about myself. In job interviews, my application, my resume, it always looked like shit. But then once I get into the interview, I can get the job, if that makes sense. And I guess what I'm saying is, because I have recognized that as a strength in myself that I have then intentionally nurtured, I have also built my entire situation here in my brand with my art and trying to promote my art on my speaking, on my ability to speak and to effectively communicate. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I feel like this is less a video about how you can start a personal brand and how you could do that as an artist, and more about kind of scatterbrained critical thoughts about the artist's personal brand. But if you're struggling with this concept, don't think about logos. Don't think about brand colors. Don't think about style guides. Like, forget all of that for a second and just ask yourself, what do I have a communications strength? Can I write? Can I make images? Can I make memes? Can I make videos? Can I make anything? Can I make anything at all that can be distributed into people's eyes and ears? That is literally all we're talking about. It isn't about you have to make an essay and manifesto of beliefs and ideas and whatever it is going and what your intentions. It is literally just, what is my primary method of communication that I am going to beat over the heads of the masses? That's what we're talking about here, is you as an artist are going to try to get your name out there infinitely and be omnipresent in the world and become popular. How? That will be what it... So don't try to think of a brand and then promote the brand. Start promoting yourself and your ideas, and that is where your brand will emerge from. If you're thinking, oh my God, this is poison, this is brain rot, this is crazy, why are you talking about this? Why do people want to know this? You should discourage people from even thinking like this. And I would say, yeah, it is unhealthy to think like this, but it's also business, and it's also art. We're trying to make art. We're trying to have careers. We're trying to get our stuff out there. What are we going to do? Blow up the world and then give up? We can't just flip the table, I think the best thing you can do as an artist, if you are an artist that hates the world and you hate everybody and you hate how all of this is, the best thing you can do is be unbelievably and psychotically loud and suck up attention. That's what you should do. If you hate this, if you hate what I'm saying, you hate me, and you hate these ideas, then you need to become loud and start saying the things that you believe and attack terrible things that you hate. And I'm not encouraging anybody to be like a prejudiced psycho like Westboro Baptist Church, like bigoted that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying trumpet your like racism into the world. I'm saying like just trumpet yourself into the world, but don't hurt people. That's fucked up. Yeah, I think I'm cool with leaving this statement here. I mean, I don't want to promote a toxic message, and I don't want to give people some horrible like Hustlers University drop shipping message. But instead, I want to... My camera died in the middle of that sentence, so I want to... I'm not exactly sure what I was going to say, but I don't want to send a horrible message here and give you brain rot and anxiety about personal brand. I just want to say that you need to just start speaking, put yourself and your beliefs out there, share what you like. Stop sharing what you don't like. Don't hate on people, just share what you like. Share who you are, your interests. Do you like snowboarding? Talk about snowboarding. Do you like to cook? Cook. Show people your recipes. Just share yourself, your ideas, your beliefs, what you like, and the rest will come after. Sorry for the weird nihilistic political messaging about personal brands. I don't know where all that came from, but let's keep it positive. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it happy. Happy painting. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. I didn't put that there. I don't know why that. Does putting a thumbs up put a little. Why does that happen? That's weird. Okay, that happens now. So that's in the video. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.